I don't think people appreciate how Solomon-like Donald Trump has to be and why your prayers, you Bible-reading prayer people, are sustaining him, because this guy's got like a Cyrus anointing to go through the two-leaf gates of Babylon, to undo the belts of adversaries. It's a prophetic mantle on him. But he's up against the principality of Rosh right now. And this sounds crazy for some people, just pay attention. He dealt with the prince of Persia last month. Now he's got the prince of Rosh. You guys see how the anointing that is on the man, that you prayed on him for God's movement for a third great awakening, is happening now. But here's the dilemma. Zelensky demands a guarantee. Who's going to guarantee my safety? He looks to the United States. You got to promise me that if I sign this paper, this guy's not going to come back after me and you're going to leave me alone. Trump can't give him what's called the Article 5 security guarantee, because that gives Zelensky a trigger finger. He says, good, if I got your guarantee, then I'm going to go take a little bit of that territory back. And if they fight me, you're in the battle with Russia. And that's the very thing Trump promised. I'm keeping boots off the ground of Ukraine. I'm going to explain to you in this episode the real dilemma Trump has and how you got to pray and what we got to see going on. Sometimes your life doesn't have a solution, but God will make a way. By the way, let me tell you something else. I have some miracle testimonies, because my age groups, their body starts to break down, and Annabelle and I are praying for you. If your body feels like it's breaking down faster than you can keep up, I've got something that flips the script. It gives you the internal push you need to start repairing, rebuilding, feeling younger again, having the sustained energy and strength of your youth. I'm not making this stuff up. I'm a product of the product. Go to level10matrix.com and find out what I'm talking about. Call 1-800-361-2270. If you're on Instagram or Facebook, just comment MATRIX, Matrix. Because I'm reading the reports all the time. This guy, Jake, his protein numbers decreased in his kidneys. The original numbers were in the 1600s. Now they're down to the 400s. His ideal is 0. But he's going to continue. He's lost 25 pounds since he started with the Matrix. Level10matrix.com. Find out for yourself why I bring this subject up all the time. Let's get into the challenge that the president has to bring peace to the world under the Cyrus anointing. You're about to see history happen, and I make some predictions. Watch this. In the never-ending nitwittery of the left, making fun the venerable Donald J. Trump, the only man who in his first 6 months in office puts to bed 5 global conflicts, they still have a problem with him. You know, it shows you the depravity of fallen man, that somebody could be doing the job he's doing, and it's like somebody pulls you out of a burning building. You complain that he had, smokes cigarettes and you smell bad breath or something. So they hate Trump. They just hate him. But here's what he's negotiating with. For those of you that are praying for him, and maybe we'll go to the board today, I'm going to show you a lineup of the verticals as to what are the big issues that he's dealing with. You can pray intelligently. He has to somehow, now what Zelensky wants, I must have a security guarantee. I must have a security guarantee. When he says security guarantee, what he means is whatever peace situation I saw guys sign off on, you gotta have my back. You told me to get rid of my nukes like 12 years ago. Our country, we don't have any deterrents, and so you won't let us join NATO. That's no good. And Zelensky and Russia's warned, and no NATO troops on the soil of Ukraine. Now I don't know how they can get away with that. You think about it. I mean, Putin basically, I would say geographically, I would just say to him, hey, listen, we don't want to all go to war in Europe, have a world war, but we're going to put our troops over here on the border, peacekeeping troops. And if you shoot us in that border, that's on you. So you don't have the authority to tell us who comes into the Ukraine. The Ukraine's sovereign territory. That's why we're in there right now. But thank God, cooler heads prevailed. They didn't listen to my hothead. And NATO is staying, they're agreeing with Russia. All right, we won't put any troops in there. But everybody's looking at the United States, especially with the Biden-era buffoonery, $300, $400 billion given to them. Any day now, the United States can come in here. Lindsey Graham always stomping around, ready to go to war with Russia. The reality of the situation is Putin said, I'll wait till Trump's in office. Because Putin's got to come back with a win. They've lost about 800,000 men. And he's paid a price, but he's got control of the propaganda machine. So it's, hey, da, 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 da. They're always, yay Putin, yay Russia. But he knows that the facts are there are dead people. He's got to justify his going in there, which means he's got to come back with a scalp. He has to have real estate. For him to survive, he's got to go. He can't end the war unless he's got something to show that was worth 1 million dead bodies. So he's got to come back with the Donbass region. He's got to come back with Crimea officially, he's got to come back with some real estate. Everyone's going to be mad at Trump when that happens. Oh, he failed. He gave real estate. You can just guarantee the left, the idiots that got us into the war and that fed the war, that, did nothing to solve the war and that couldn't even get anyone at a table to talk. They'll criticize the guy that has a way of exiting. This isn't Trump's problem. I want you to temper your expectations. I guess what I'm doing is what General Mike Flynn is doing. Temper your expectations, because the left is going to pile on when the negotiated settlement is, no, we're not going to give security guarantees of American military involvement in the event that Russia or does something wrong. Because you know what happens if we have an Article 5 guarantee given by the United States, by Donald Trump, to protect and be the big brother to protect Ukraine. The moment he officially does and gives that Article 5 protection, that's what it's called, all that Zelensky has to do then is he's got the gun. So he could go into one of those territories to go reclaim it. He could go on the offense to go retake some land. And America's obligated to protect him if Russia fights back, you see? Because Article 5 says that his territorial integrity is protected by the U.S. So what I'm trying to tell you is Trump has a real conundrum. He's got a Solomon problem. He's got to figure out how to give a security guarantee without committing the United States or any military asset to protect Ukraine. And we're the only one everybody's looking at as the big guy to protect them. So it's Trump's solution. He says, hey, this is a European problem, not me. In fact, if you guys want me to stay involved with it, I'm not going to give any more money, but you could buy the weapons. You guys want to buy them? You need to up your ante up to 5% anyway in your NATO budget. You haven't been doing it. We've been paying the money. We're not going to do that anymore. You ante up. They all anteed up. Okay, good. Now, with that extra money, you buy weapons from me. I got to make a profit out of this thing. I'm losing $400 billion. He does a mineral land deal. He's going to sell the weapons. Trump, the businessman. I mean, the way this guy thinks is amazing. How's he getting around the security guarantee? He's saying, Europe, you provide the guarantee, but you can't do it by bringing them into NATO, and you can't do it by putting your own boots on the ground, but you can somehow work out your own guarantee. And what Trump is doing is he's not committing to Zelensky that if you're in trouble, I'm going to come in and fight Russia. But somehow he's got to get Russia to realize that they have an incentive to not do it. And I think it's economic. Because the one thing about Trump that is a variable is the tariff. Now, no other president can do this. I got off a minute on the last segment on the $37 trillion debt because I just say the word and I got a meltdown. But here's the reality. Trump puts that tariff on the table. He's unpredictable. He's crazy glue. Because what he might do is he might say, okay, you're not going to come to the table? You're not going to come to the table, Vladimir? All right, you're embarrassing me. You're irritating me. You're mocking me. Guess what? Your generals provide your protection. You without your generals, without your oligarchs, you got no protection. I'm going to put the squeeze on your oligarchs. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to raise 100% tariffs, China and India, on all oil that they buy. Basically, whatever they buy, I'm going to tariff them. I'm going to be like the central bank, like the Iron Bank. What was it in Game of Thrones? The Iron Bank or whatever. Trump is the Iron Bank, and he's basically saying, I control the globe. Economically, I will charge 200% tariffs, 300% tariffs. The markets will go crazy. Doesn't matter. Putin knows Trump's a little bit nutty. He might do it. He might just say, no, I'm going to go. Even though I want China to get along with me. They're an 800-pound gorilla. They're on the other side of the globe. I've still got one eye on them. Trump, to deal with China, he's got to get Russia off the table. You see, he has one giant at a time he's got to take down. But thank God he's got the Isaiah 45 Cyrus anointing. He's got the tariff threat, the economic threat, and he doesn't want to use it. But Putin knows he can only push Trump so far before he insults the man, which is why he gave him that soundbite. Had President Trump been in office, I have no guarantees that we wouldn't be in the situation we're in right now. I tried to warn the Democrats. I tried to warn the Biden administration. They didn't listen. I think what Putin was saying is a Trump presidency would have saved this whole conflict. And, you know, Trump is playing it the way he wants to play it, which is, I'm so strong, he never would have gone to Ukraine. And Putin's basically saying, no, I think you're so smart, you would not let it get to this place because you would see that I'm serious. But what I'm trying to tell you is, temper your expectations, because what's going to come back is going to be a land for peace. And the left is going to go, Trump, don't say, they're going to try to, but he's going to bring peace. He didn't start the stupid thing, but he's going to negotiate a way out. Putin has to go back with something. You understand what I'm trying to tell you? He can't go back defeated. Now, Trump's approval. Go to asset number 8. The Democrats, of course, called the Trump-Putin meeting an embarrassment. Well, they would, because anything Trump does, they have to call that way, even though he's got. But look at this. He's at 54% approval after the meeting. Hey, play that Bill Maher clip, will you?
So if you're the kind of person who says, you know, you can find some good in anybody, this would be the good in Donald Trump. He really does not like war. Thailand and Cambodia were having firing at each other. Rwanda and the Congo. Most people don't even know about these. India and Pakistan, Armenia, Azerbaijan. He got involved in all of them. He really, he doesn't really, he wants it. Now, the way he does it, as usual, not, you know, with the Ukraine, the solution was, well, surrender. Give Putin everything he wants. And even that didn't work. That's the thing. He gave Putin anything he wanted, and it didn't work. But again, let's not have the zombie lie that he's still backing Putin, because, first of all, he bombed Iran. That was a Putin ally. He didn't get out of NATO.
No.
He mended fences with NATO. So, and he put sanctions back on Russia. So, you know.
You're really coming around, Bill.
I'm not coming around. There's no coming around.
The guy had dinner with Trump. Come on, Bill. You had dinner with the man. He extends you the olive branch of friendship. You're there with Dana White and, I don't know, Joe Rogan or whoever else was there.
Kid Rock.
Chris Rock, right?
Kid Rock, not Chris Rock.
Yeah, Kid Rock.
Yeah, big difference there.
By the way, my son's co-host, you wouldn't know that because I haven't given him a moment to say anything. Well, what's your take on this? What do you think's gonna? How do you think this is gonna play out from your? Are you a Gen Z or millennial?
I'm a millennial. Generation Y is in Generation Y bother.
There's the
yeah. Gen X is like 80s, and then Gen Z is after us. Anyway, I don't know where they're getting those numbers from on his approval rating. I think that's strictly from a Republican data, as opposed to.
Oh, you think the Democrats aren't giving him a 56% approval rating?
No, I'm quite positive.
I agree with that. This is the country approval rating.
I don't think it's the country. I think it's strictly Republicans that are giving these approval ratings, because across the board, his approval ratings are down.
80% approval.
No way. No way. Where'd you get that fact from?
See why I don't go to my son that often on the show? I know within 30 seconds we're having a family dispute. Does anyone out there know what it's like to have your family on the current events? Thank God we're still together.
Yeah, let me chime in real quick. Does anybody know what it's like when somebody asks you your opinion from your generation's perspective and then they dismiss it? Does anybody know what that's like? Because I can tell you firsthand, it's not great.
For all the years I poured into him. All right, so you tell me what. Yeah. We got 43 seconds. Do you think Trump, first of all, do you agree with my assessment that Trump will not be able to give the deal people want and that people are going to blame him for compromise, just like Bill Maher is doing right there?
I think that's an interesting way to phrase the question. Yes, I agree with that perspective. But also, as somebody who's viewed Trump over the last, 9 years of his political running and whatnot, if you continue to take Trump at his word, then you're buying from somebody who has something to sell, frankly. He said he was going to have this thing wrapped up in one day. I mean, we're months in and still not wrapped up.
This is the typical American ingratitude. He didn't wrap it up in a day. It took him 6 months into his first term. Can't trust a thing he says. Thanks for being with us today. I look forward to covering the rest of the story as it's unfolding tomorrow. We'll see you then.
Did you enjoy this latest episode? Please remember to share it with your friends, because the more knowledge you